Good evening. Welcome to the Collegedale City Commission meeting. It's Monday, September 16th. We're glad that everyone has come to join us this evening. We've got a fairly full agenda this evening, a lot to talk about. But before we get started, I've asked Commissioner Sadler to lead us in the invocation and the pledge.
If you'll join me for a moment of silence, please. And then if you'll stand for the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And can we have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Baker,
Present.
Commissioner Lamb,
Here.
Commissioner Sadler,
here.
Vice Mayor Johnson.
Here.
Mayor Lloyd.
Here. And I believe we've all had a chance to review our minutes from the previous meeting on September 3rd. Are there any changes, deletions, corrections so noted by the commission? Okay, if there are none, then I'll ask for a motion for approval.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion for approval and a second, and roll call, please.
Commissioner Baker,
Yay.
Commissioner Lamb,
Yay.
Commissioner Sadler,
Yay.
Vice Mayor Johnson.
Yay.
Mayor Lloyd.
Yay. This part of the meeting, we open the floor up to citizens of the community that would like to address the commission. If there are any citizens this evening that have a matter that you'd like to discuss with the commission, if you will, please step up to the microphone, give us your name and your address, please.
Merritt McLafferty, 4681 Pearson Drive. I'm glad to see that some of the items you'll consider today are to properly equip the new vehicles for the police department. However, this equipment is not going to address the serious flaws that are in the Durango. The airbags, curtain airbags are not sufficient. The space available to protect the driver is minimal so that there can be easily protrusions in an accident. I think that it's great that they're repairable as far as other issues mechanically are concerned, but it's hard to repair our officers if they are damaged in an accident.
Sure.
What are you speaking? Is that a magazine you're speaking of?
I have this information in the current issue of Consumer Reports. When I was much younger, I would read that about some car that I thought would be pretty hot. And I thought, what do those old fogies know about testing cars? Well, one thing I didn't know is that they have test people of all different ages. I can remember picking out a car that I thought would be just perfect for me. And as I read the explanation about its handling, it said it was not handling well on rough roads. And I bought the car, and sure enough, it did not handle well on rough roads. So I put a lot of stock into Consumer Reports and what they have to say about it.
Okay, well, Mr. Lafferty, thank you very much. And I will say that I personally have not been a great fan of the Durangos. However, the chief has addressed a number of issues that I've had. And Chief, would you care to address any issues or concerns that have been brought forward?
Well, I certainly appreciate the gentleman's concern, and it's something that we'll continue to look at. The Durango has consistently been one of the top rated police vehicles for several years now. But I certainly appreciate the gentleman's concern for the safety of our officers, and it's certainly something we'll continue to look at as we move forward to make our decisions on what to purchase.
And how many Durangos do we have currently?
Thank you.
know the exact number off the top of my head. We're up to, what, 20-something now, I think, is that about right? 15 to 20, I guess.
May I ask a question? Because this is not the first time we've addressed this, when we first got the Durangos. And from what I remember, correct me if I'm wrong, when I researched, because I had concerns about it, and I called different police agencies. I called Atlanta, Dalton, Nashville. I called Cleveland and Knoxville. At that time, they were looking at, some of them had Durangos, and they were looking at it and everything. And this is what I was told 98% of the time, that the residential Durangos had been pulled, and the Durangos were remarketed for police vehicles, and then they were made more sturdier, more safer, because it was to be used as a police car and not as a residence car.
Yeah,
Our
our
space-
Durangos, all our Durangos that are purchased are police pursuit rated Durangos.
Yeah.
And again, based on the research that we've done over the years, they continue to be one of the top rated vehicles out there.
Yeah.
We haven't had drastic mechanical issues with them over the years. They've been very reliable for us. The mechanics enjoy working on them. We've used Dodge, either Chargers or Durangos for many, many, many years now. But again, it's something that we'll always continue to keep an eye on as trends move forward.
Is it good for, because we don't really do a lot of high-speed chasing in our area, to my
We
understanding.
certainly try not to.
Yeah.
We certainly have.
And my understanding was, they said all the police chiefs of surrounding said that they were good for city and our size of a city, and for in-city driving, but not for high-speed chase, like going down the interstate or anything like that. And I don't think we do really a lot of
Well,
that.
there's many agencies across the country that chase on the highways and chase everywhere else. So again, they've been very consistent vehicles with us. We haven't had any challenges with them. The officers enjoy them. But it's certainly something that we'll continue to look at year to year to make the best purchase for safety for our officers and for the city.
But Chief, since our last vote on the last batch, I've noted that the Tennessee Highway Patrol is driving them, and a number of agencies are moving over to that vehicle. So obviously they're popular with police departments.
And these things ebb and flow from year to year. The Chevy Tahoes are becoming increasingly more popular nowadays as they put out a good product. So again, it's just something we'll continue to monitor. We'll keep talking and having discussions with our mechanics and our officers on the street and make sure that they're doing what we want them to do and not creating mechanical issues or financial problems fixing mechanical issues. And we'll continue to evaluate year to year on whether we want to continue or start looking at something else.
Okay. Chief, thank you very much. Any other questions from the commission? Okay, any other comments from our citizens? If there are none so noted, then we will move on to unfinished business, of which there is none, and move to new business now. First item on the agenda for this evening is approval request for purchase of new walking floor trailer for Public Works Department.
Good evening, Mayor, Commission members. Seeking approval for the purchase of a new municipal solid waste trailer. It was included in the approved budget. This value of 110 and change under the Sourcewell contract is under the budget amount. And this will serve the department's needs, obviously with the increase in residential homes that are going to be coming. This kind of gives us a little bit of a leg up on municipal solid waste removal.
I have one question. At the very end, it says that the pricing won't be finalized until 90 days prior to start of production. Do you have any idea of, do you have some percentage of something back that will cover that?
This should be locked in once we place the order.
Uh-huh.
That's kind of an open end that a lot of the dealers do just on the timing, but the turnaround time on this is within 2 months. So we shouldn't have any additional cost increase
Okay.
associated with the purchase.
Can we make I noticed that on the first and the last page too. Can we do a motion that for this amount, and if they make a change on it, it has to come back to us?
That's how it would be if it went up.
Okay,
If it went down, we could still purchase it and report
Okay.
back. But if it goes over the exact amount you approved tonight, it would have to come back.
okay.
We don't want any surprises.
Neither do we.
Any other questions of the commission? Do we have a motion for approval?
I move that we approve the purchase.
A motion for approval, and I will second, and roll call, please.
Commissioner Baker,
Yay.
Commissioner Lamb,
Yay.
Commissioner Sadler,
Yay.
Vice Mayor Johnson,
Yay.
Mayor Lloyd.
Yay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And next item on the agenda is approval request for AEDF project design phase.
Okay, so this is the scope and fee from Garver for the administering the design work for the Economic Development Fund project. As we talked about at the workshop meeting a few weeks back, this consists of the project administration, surveying services, geotech services, design, and then bidding. So it's a full design through bid that they have presented. It's $131,320. I did try to make a phone call prior to the meeting, just as an update. I still have not received the environmental submittal back. Will be coming on about 5 weeks Friday. Since we've submitted that, still have not heard back from TDOT regarding that. But this is going to at least help us answer some of the questions that some of you had at the workshop meeting as far as an approximate price, so we can get it put out to bid and get that information.
And in terms of state reimbursement,
So as far as reimbursement's concerned, this is the grant that we got, the 1.285. So that will be how this will be funded.
yes, okay.
And does the grant pay that whole 131, or do you have a portion of how much the grant covers?
So that amount would come out of the grant. So we have 1.285 total for the whole project, design and our portion to get it pad ready. This would come out of that 1.285.
And from a city perspective, is Sam okay with the language of this? And,
Yeah.
Are we okay from a budget perspective moving forward with this?
Yep.
Is it your recommendation we do?
Yes.
Any other questions from the commission?
I move to approve.
Okay, we have a motion for approval and a
I'll
second.
second.
And a second. And roll call, please.
Commissioner Baker,
Yay.
Commissioner Lamb,
Yay.
Commissioner Sadler,
Yay.
Vice Mayor Johnson,
Yay.
Mayor Lloyd.
Yay. Thank you very much. And next item is approval request for purchase of airport LED runway lights.
All right, so this is part of the 300,000 or the just sub 300,000 that was allocated for airport fund use. This is the remaining LED runway lights that would complete what we already have. The total cost for this there is $65,846. And I know there were some comments from Sam.
I had, it had the general terms and conditions that are linked on the second page has got an indemnity clause in it. And so I've suggested a tweak to it that will satisfy me as far as the danger of that.
Okay.
Yeah, so this approval tonight that I'm seeking would be subject to that.
Okay. Any questions from the commission on the runway lights?
No, I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
Motion for approval and a second, and roll call, please.
Commissioner Baker,
Yay.
Commissioner Lamb,
Yay.
Commissioner Sadler,
Yay.
Vice Mayor Johnson,
Yay.
Mayor Lloyd.
Yay.
Thank you.
Mr. Byford, thank you very much. And next, fourth item is approval request for the upfitting of 6 new police department Dodge Durangos.
Yes, the Durangos were delivered last week, so we just need to get the equipment ordered to upfit those different vehicles. So the total quote for what we need to upfit those 6 vehicles is $53,395.34. So I'm just, that money is budgeted, of course, for the vehicles, just requesting your approval for the expense.
The only question I have is Michelle, is this paid not by credit card? Because I noticed they'll charge an extra 3% if we do credit card.
we always do checks for all
Check.
this type of, yeah.
Okay.
Any other questions from the commission?
State contract. Okay.
Okay. Do we have a motion for approval?
I make a motion,
Okay.
we approve.
Yeah.
Motion for approval in a second.
Y'all move
Second.
lower than.
And roll call, please.
Commissioner Baker,
Yay.
Commissioner Lamb,
Yay.
Commissioner Sadler,
Yay.
Vice Mayor Johnson.
Yay.
Mayor Lloyd.
Yay.
Thank you.
Chief, thank you very much. And approval request for Little Debbie Park trademark license agreement.
So this is a pretty simple trademark license agreement with the McKee Corporation related to the Little Debbie Park.
It's their trademark. It's not ours. We're not going to steal it.
Who would
Yeah.
want it?
Beg your pardon?
Never mind.
So Sam, it sounds like you agree to that.
Yeah.
Did we hold on to it for, I see where it was signed in July. Was there any reason we kind of held on to it or?
It slipped my mind, to be just completely honest with you. So
I'll make a motion to approve.
And motion for approval, and I'll second that and roll call, please.
Commissioner Baker,
Yay.
Commissioner Lamb,
Yay.
Commissioner Sadler,
Yay.
Vice Mayor Johnson.
Yay.
Mayor Lloyd.
Yay. Then our June, July, and August finance.
Good evening. I am going to just touch on June and then move on to August. As far as June goes, we're looking good prior to our audit entries. I will complete those after the auditor's visit this week. It appears as though our budget amendments covered all of our overages, so that is great. We won't get a funding for that. For August, we're right in line where we need to be for both revenues and expenditures. Revenues are at 8% and expenditures are at 17%. This is actually exactly where we were August of 2023. As far as local option sales tax, looks really good. Our building permits look really good. And all of our state share revenues look great as well. As far as our bank balances go, we did 2 transfers. We transferred 2 different transfers out of the general fund investment account. The first was to fund the planned general fund capital amount. If you'll see that bank account that appears to be a new bank account, we actually had maybe like $50 in there before we funded the full capital that is planned for the general fund capital. And we also transferred $2 million from the investment account into the checking account, which is a very normal transfer for this time of year. We always do one transfer because our checking account continues to sort of dwindle until we get our property tax starts rolling in like January 10. So it continues to dwindle. So we always have to sort of do a little transfer and then we'll just transfer it back when we're, start getting our property tax.
Okay.
You have any questions?
Is this a new way we were going to do this? Because I really prefer to go back to doing it monthly. It's a lot to.
Oh, this is the only time we ever do this is right here at the end of the fiscal year because we can't really have 2 months open at the same time. So this is the way we do it every year, right around this time. And then every other time it's going to be monthly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other questions from the commission? Do we have a motion for approval?
I'll move that we approve the financial report.
Second.
Motion for approval and second and roll call, please.
Commissioner Baker,
Yay.
Commissioner Lamb,
Yay.
Commissioner Sadler,
Yay.
Vice Mayor Johnson,
Yay.
Mayor Lloyd.
Yay. And next is request for reports from city administration.
All right. The biggest item I would want to mention is Pine Hill. We've finished coordinating with legal today, and I'll be sending an email to the mayor in the morning to move forward as an emergency repair. We're going to pursue it under a time and materials contract, meaning it's going to be literally the amount of time, manpower, equipment, and then materials. The contractors have all come in around $400,000. I do expect that we will need to move a water line based on our experience on Prospect Church Road. That was in the $40,000 range. So I would expect this project to be around $450,000 once we see what we're actually going to have. And I'll bring the actual T&M contract to you in 2 weeks, since we didn't have everything nailed down until just this afternoon. But I will pursue it with the mayor under our emergency procurement, since the road is closed and failing.
Can you send us all a copy of that email?
I'm going to send it to everyone.
Okay.
And then request the mayor respond back to approve me so we can move forward.
What kind of a time frame are we looking at?
So they would be mobilizing towards the end of the week. Chris, do you know how long they expect it to take?
Approximately 4 to 6 weeks, depending on what they find.
Yeah.
Once they open the road.
So,
I know there's been a couple comments on social media about it, so.
Yeah.
yeah, and as soon as we move forward, we will try to be louder on social media. Again, to expedite the repair, we're going to have to get into it to see what we find rather than trying to find everything and plan around it, since the road's just failing.
And I'm assuming this is too big for Public Works to handle as well, correct?
Absolutely. Yeah, we don't have the folks to tie rebar and pour head walls and rip out the entire road and relocate water mains and that sort of thing. So,
And
other
who's
news-
who's the contractor on this?
who was it?
Simpson Construction, a division of Summers Taylor.
They also bid on the parking lot. And they're currently at Bendabout Farms. And so those are the crews that they would pull down to get started for us. So, also fifth Monday this month. So after workshop, we will have one Monday off. Our shredding event is scheduled for Tuesday, 10/8 from 3 to 6 here in the parking lot. That's all I have this evening.
Okay. Comments from the commission?
I was going to ask if we wanted to, we never did a ribbon cutting or like a public open house for our Parks and Rec building. We wanted to do that before it got too worn in. Any interest?
It's up to y'all.
I think that'd be good.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do
I'll
that.
get with Christina and can she work with you directly to make sure that we execute
Yeah.
your vision? Because
Mhm.
that's outside of things I'm good at.
Let's get a little PR.
Yeah.
Any news from, about the water situation on Udawaringo Road?
I have received the report from the county and have not gotten it read. You have to log in through a dashboard. So I'm going to get logged in tomorrow and then print y'all a PDF copy and send it to you.
Okay.
You stole one of mine.
Hmm?
You stole one of my bullets.
Well, good.
All right, Vice Mayor?
Debbie,
Oh, go ahead.
Okay.
go ahead.
No, go
Commissioner.
ahead.
Okay, so
As we're coming down the line.
I got an email and, I've really been vocal about mowing and how it has looked since the TDOT project's been going on. One of the ladies I've been communicating with, she just wanted to give a shout out to Jamie at Public Works. Apparently she lives at the roundabout on Talent, that little strip, single road or two roads back there. Cannot think of the name of the subdivision, but she wanted to give a thanks out because they had just finished mowing that today. She said it looked great. And she hopes that we can continue keeping up the mowing until it's released to us, or at least get the state to, help us do that. So Wayne, I had mentioned about a project to expand Lee Highway up to Bradley County with TDOT. Any action or movement on that?
So I spoke with RPA about it. The process they outlined for me would be that when at the next call for projects, TDOT would need to add it to their list to get added. And so I'm still trying to get through RPA because I got the impression from you that was not the process that had been laid out for you. And it's the same thing with the Leland intersection. I was told the same thing, which was not what our representative had told me. So I'm working through RPA, trying to find a way to get those projects added by TDOT that's outside of the normal process.
Because I know
Getting TDOT outside of normal process is not really easy.
because this used to be a project years ago.
Yes.
And I
And
think
it
you
was
and I
pulled
talked
right
about
after
that.
the choice lanes thing was passed.
Okay. Let's see here. You know what I really like to see? I mean, the audience is here, but they can't really see all the details of all these agreements and stuff.
Mhm.
I know it's in a PDF on our website, But if we could show it up here on the screen,
Okay.
some of that, I think it'd be great for them to see. And
We can start setting up the projector. Those that are watching from home can have it pulled up on the live stream. That
Yeah,
was one
right.
of the advantages to this new system.
so I think it'd be good for them to see it because, they may want to see what the bid looks like. And
Okay.
I think it might just be helpful for them as well. So I think that's all I have at the moment.
Okay.
Well, he's covered about everything. You've already answered what I was going to ask about. Have we heard any more about the traffic light up here off of Leland and going into Udawa Ringo and trying to get that taken care of since they're delaying the expansion of the road.
Yeah, since they pulled the expansion, there's no immediate plan to address the
Yeah.
intersection.
So we need to do something there because it is a hazard. Also, I was checking to see about if we made any progress on the parade for Christmas. I know this is just September.
So we have it planned. We do need to make and I'm asking everyone here and the commissioners, a very public appeal for people to join.
Yeah.
We've not been overwhelmed with responses. Christina is starting this week to call individual folks and clubs, et cetera, and request to participate. But if everyone else will reach out to their network, social media, et cetera, to get some more floats in there, that would be great.
My understanding is it's still just 5.
We're up to 8.
You're up to 8. Okay. And how many would we like to have? 25 or plus?
I'd like to add a 0.
The 0?
If we could get north of 50, we would have a reasonable parade.
Yeah.
Can we talk about this in workshop as well?
Sure.
Get
I
some
think that'd be
update.
good.
I know I go to the meetings and I meet with her because I'm on the.
Yep. Yeah, we'll
board,
add it
but
to the
we need to get
workshop.
some move on.
In years past, this was similar to what we ran into. There was always interest to come to the parade, but not a lot of interest to participate in the parade. But we'll talk about it at workshop. And again, Christina has started calling various organizations to see if they will participate.
When she calls, can we find out about logistics, if they would be more interested, where they would maybe, because we used to have, where it used to be, where we used to take it. This is before COVID, when it came down, and I understand the reason why we're not doing that. But I'm just wondering if they would be more participation if we were going back the way we had it before, instead of having it at the university.
I'll let her speak on that in more detail. My understanding is it's not route based. It's just that a lot of people aren't interested in the effort it takes to participate in the parade. They would rather just come and enjoy it.
Yeah.
But setting up a float or putting lights on a vehicle or a golf cart, et cetera, if there's not a true business reason, folks like to do other things on a Sunday. We've received a lot of feedback that they would be more inclined to participate with our Christmas program because it's easier, it's less effort for them. But again, I'll let Christina speak on all of that at workshop where we are. But big call for participants.
I'd be interested in, she can address this during the workshop, is how did we outreach? Did we do an outreach via social media or did we?
So far, it's been mainly social media. And again, we've rolled over to making calls at this point.
I'd be interested in what other cities, because other cities are pretty successful at this. I know like in East Ridge.
I know I believe she spoke with East Ridge to see.
I'd be interested in see if, we can learn anything to help us.
I have a meeting this week with other city managers. I'll ask them. Usually from those conversations, they are parades that became established, like when Steve Ray was running it, and it was the same participants. And we're at various portions of the aging out of it curve, meaning some of our population has aged out of participating in the parades, whereas theirs have not. But I'll ask them on Wednesday when we meet.
We can ask about school participation and with bands and ROTC and clubs and things
Right.
like that.
We're going to reach out to them directly to see if they
Make
will.
it a community.
Well, before we adjourn this evening, I would like to applaud Mr. Byford on a job well done. The terminal building exterior painting looks great. Looks like the airport has moved from 1990 into 2024. It looks so much better. So excellent selection of colors and a great job working with the contractor on that. And Mr. McAloon, I applaud you and the great job that our Public Works Department's doing. It's nice to see Appleton Pike getting cleaned up from all the high weeds. And by the way, there are a few weeds that are turning into trees, and if you should happen to run by with a weed eater and hit them, that would be great. But it's looking much better. Thank you. And I realize we're doing something that TDOT says they're going to do eventually, but let's keep things looking better. So thank you for the outstanding job you're doing. If there are
I had
no-
a
I'm
few more
sorry.
things. I'm sorry. You got a little excited and thought I was done earlier.
I thought you were. I'm sorry.
I was going to ask Chris, has there an update on the counter at the Lida University in Appleton?
I did get into the control box. They are
I didn't
about
get that
30,
complaint
35
today either.
second
A little bit.
signal timing. I don't know which direction. I know you were concerned about, I guess I needed to talk to you afterwards, specifically where your focus is, to see if we can make a tweak on that program.
Okay. And then I was going to ask, has there been an initiative to put trackers on city vehicles? I had a question about that. Is it all city vehicles or certain city vehicles?
Trackers.
Like GPS trackers?
Like an Apple, little Apple
I-
disc.
I'm not
I
aware.
don't know what kind, but,
This is catching me cold, so.
okay.
I don't
Maybe if you can
believe,
just poke around and find
I
out.
don't, I don't believe so. In years past, we have discussed whether or not they were warranted or needed. But we've not installed any. We do have cameras on things like the garbage trucks or part of the camera systems on the PD vehicles.
Okay.
Are they talking about the ones that tie through the cars automatically?
No, I think it's,
That like
I
urban
know
SDKs?
county and Hamilton County EMS, they can tell where their cars are at any given time. And it's through, I guess, computer system or is that,
I'll find out more too, exactly what they were wanting to know, but that's not something that we've actively been working on.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
We did, and this might be the confusion, we did look at Urban SDK software, which puts together speed and traffic reports and congestion reports, et cetera, based on your vehicle's connection to cell towers. And so maybe that got conflated into the trackers?
So that's something to do with like speed conditions, so you can see.
Correct. It came up, you can do like your traffic reports to see where your areas are that you're having. You can sort it by not only congestion, but also the percentage of folks that are more than 10 over and that sort of thing.
And then I was going to ask if we could get an update on Bell Farms, because we haven't had any updates since, are we still under a restraining order?
We're still under a restraining order and their land disturbance permit was issued last week. They should start bush hogging this week.
Okay, is there an end date for that restraining order?
Sometime in the middle of this month, it shouldn't be very long.
Okay.
And then when, if we want to choose to contest it, we can. I think the idea is let things work out.
work out, mean allow them to build the 200 and something townhomes?
Does that come to us to decide if we want to allow it to extend, or is there a meeting that we have an option to?
They're the ones that filed the restraining order.
But is there a court hearing though? Over a
There has not
restraining
been
order?
one.
We've postponed the court hearing. The court hearing would be just on whether it should be temporarily held further, and the judge was going to let them do it anyway, so I elected to save you some money.
Can we just get updates as things, if anything changes or evolves?
Okay. What, I thought I had been updating.
I mean, you updated about land disturbance, but I didn't know if we were still under a restraining order or not. Okay. That's all I have.
Okay. Any other questions? Do we have a motion for adjournment?
Move to adjourn.
And second, and roll call, please.
Commissioner Baker?
Yay.
Commissioner Lamb?
Yay.
Commissioner Sadler?
Yay.
Vice Mayor Johnson?
Yay.
Mayor
It should
Lord?
be running.
Yay. And we are adjourned.
Yeah, and I see where it's around.